Today, we are going to be in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, in the heart of the Great Smoky Mountains of the beautiful East Tennessee area. And we're going to be at the Glade Cemetery. So stay with us. There's some interesting people in here. See you in a sec. Hey again, welcome back to Appalachia Cemetery Hunting, and I want to welcome all of our new subscribers. I really appreciate that. You just don't know, it means a lot to me. And like I said at the intro of this video, we're going to be in the Glade Cemetery, and it is located in the actually Glade's area of Gatlinburg. So let's look at the cemetery here. Here's a photo. And you can see it's a black and white photo. And many of the headstones that we have found of the pictures, they're also going to be in black and white. Not all of them, but some of them. So, if you look at the map, it shows it's northeast of Gatlinburg, just off of Highway 321 on Glades Road. So we're going to be looking at the people who passed away in 1950 or before, just for the sake of time. And of course, all of our veterans, we always try to remember our veterans. And in this particular video, we did find a true American hero. And when I hear that, I just think of G.I. Joe, and I bet this guy was a G.I. Joe. So stay up to date here. Get your pen and pencil out and see if you've got any ancestries. So let's get started. We've got Jacob Evans and his wife, Margaret Ogle Evans. Now, Jacob was born in 1797 and passed in 1878, and his wife, Martha, was born in 1807 and passed in 1885. And they were some of the early settlers, the pioneer settlers of the area. We have Decatur L. King, 1915 to 1942, and his sister, Lena King, 1907 to 1936. James E. King, 1876 to 1921. Nathaniel E. King, 1855 to 1906. Samuel Arthur King, 1881 to 1940, and we know that Samuel served as a private in Company D of the 28th Infantry Regiment in the U.S. Army. Now we have Abijah, and I hope I said that right, B. Maples, 1848 to 1934. We have Flora Maples. We don't have any dates for her, as you can see, but her headstone is hand carved, and I'll just give you a little time to look at it and see what you think. I'm sure it's just weathered away. Now we have Luella G. Maples, 1885 to 1905, and on her headstone, her middle initial is supposed to be G instead of C. So, just wondered what that could be. We have Lucinda Annie King Maples. They called her Annie. 1824 to 1904. Lucy E. McCarter. She was born and passed in 1899, just a baby. V. A. McCarter, 1858 to 1907. Martha Newman. She was born in 1871, but we don't have a death date for her. And then we have her husband, W.M. Newman, 1871 to 1934. We have Mrs. Arthur Ogle, 1889 to 1946. John Ogle, 1877 to 1931, and his wife Martha Ogle, 1878 to 1930. And you notice those Ogle names Very, very popular around that area. And here we have the American hero that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Lloyd Alonzo Owenby, 1920 to 2004, and his wife, Beatrice Eileen Ramsey Owenby, 1924 to 2019. Now, listen at this. During World War II, Lloyd served in the U.S. Army in the 5,307th Composite Unit, which became known as Merrill's Marauders. So any guys out there or anybody who are familiar with these World War II or any of the battles and units, this is a very popular one. The unit was actually all made up of volunteers. They were tasked with capturing, now this is a Japanese name, so it's Machina Japanese Airfield in northern Burma. And we've circled it here in green on this map. They took the airfield on May the 17th of 1944 after a 1,000-mile trek over the Himalayan foothills, through the jungles, and meeting heavy enemy resistance. Disease, exhaustion, malnutrition, and the enemy took them down to a handful by the time the siege of the airfield was over. Here they are along a trail in the jungle, and some of the marauders are taking a break in this picture, and notice one of them's looking at a copy of Life magazine. Now, these were some tough guys. I mean, they wanted to go. And that, this guy here come from the Smoky Mountains, and he thought, I'm going to challenge accepted. I'm going to go. I'm used to mountains. So, defeating the superior Japanese 18th Division in 5 major battles and numerous engagements, they navigated dense jungles, rugged mountains, and rivers. And this picture shows their commanding officer, Brigadier General Frank Merrill, awarding a few of the marauders medals while still on the battlefield. Now, in 1962, a movie was made about the marauders. We love this poster. It says, "The men who couldn't go on, the mission that couldn't be done." And it's a true story of heroism and human endurance beyond any you've ever seen. In 2020, the Marauders were awarded the Congressional Gold Medal for the service of its originally they had 3,000 men. Of those, over 1,300 soldiers would be left standing. That's not many. And of these, no more than 200 of Merrill's marauders were combat capable. Men from a variety of ethnicities came together to fight like hell in unimaginable conditions to overcome Imperial Japan. Now those men, like this guy here, is a true hero, real hero. So we can move on. I just thought that was really, really awesome, and especially remember that he brought it on. G.I. Joe. Okay, so we have J. Monroe Owenby, 1866 to 1943. Mary Ann Prophet Owenby, 1842 to 1909. And there's some more Owenbys. Another popular surname in that area. We have Ray H. Owenby, 1929 to 2002. Now, Ray served as a corporal in the U.S. Army Air Corps during World War II. Now we have James Bill Parton, 1930 to 1993, and he served with the U.S. Army during the Korean War. We have W.M. Prophet, 1850 to 1908. Zillah Prophet Reagan, or they could have called her Zala, 1891 to 1921. Hiram L. Scruggs, 1793 to 1895. Now, Hiram lived to be 102 years old, and that's unusual in those times. So, he lived a good, ripe old age. And next we have twin sisters, Joda Lorraine and Judah Aline Trentham. They were born on July the 22nd, 1941. Joda passed on September the 5th of 1941, and little Judah passed on August the 19th of 1941. That's sad. We have Elijah Watson, 1858 to 1920. Mary E. Watson, 1860 to 1897. Nancy Watson, 1865 to 1932. W.M. Watson, 1851 to 1928. And his wife, Sarah Y. Williams, 1854 to 1911. There are 7 people buried here without pictures of their grave, but we know their names and their dates. So we have Ernest E. Ellison, 1901 to 1920. Mary E. Davis Key, and they called her Molly, 1871 to 1932, and we know that she was born in North Carolina. We have her husband, Samuel L. Key, Samuel Lee, 1870 to 1928, and he was also born in North Carolina. We have Charles King, and if you say that backwards, it'd be King Charles. Okay, that was corny, I'm sorry. 1896 to 1933. We have Dr. Bruce B. Montgomery, 1870 to 1954. B. L. Reagan, 1887 to 1933. And the last person that we'll look at in this cemetery will be Fred Reagan, 1907 to 1931. Now, I know some of my viewers they have the Reagan surname in their ancestral tree, so I hope you find some connection there. So this will finish up the video on the Glade Cemetery in Sevier County. We sure hope you liked this video. I sure enjoyed just learning about the Morrell Marauders, because if it wasn't for Greg, I wouldn't know anything about that stuff. But that was a really cool story. So, like I said, if you don't care, tell your friends. Hit the like and subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. And hopefully we will see you, if the Lord's willing, next week with a new video. And God bless y'all, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.